Ah, good day to you. Welcome to Turton Tower. My name is Squire William Orrell, and this is my wife, Mistress Mary Orrell.
Good day to you. Perhaps, Squire William, as we have guests, it would be hospitable to invite them inside so they could look at our beautiful house.
Indeed. Would you like that? Then we'll do it.
Squire. Thank you, Squire.
You're welcome. Well, that should keep the vagabonds and the thieves out.
Well done, Squire William. That makes us all feel very safe indeed. Now, I just heard that our breakfast is ready, Squire William. Shall we take our visitors into the dining room?
Yeah.
Would that be an idea?
You'd like to come with us?
Yes.
Good morning. Welcome to our breakfast table.
Yes, it is set out. Perhaps our visitors would like to learn more about the tableware that we had during Tudor times.
For example, what do you think this is?
Perhaps this is a word that you do not know. It is called a trencher, And if you do look very carefully, you will see a small hole. Now, I wonder what that small hole would contain. Something that would help us to make our food a little bit tastier, a little bit more savoury.
And what is the trencher made of?
It is something, it's a very special material because it is more easy to clean.
And look at this expensive earthenware left out, Mistress Mary.
It is indeed. We do like to show our wealth, don't we, Squire William? And we do like to show our wealth by showing off some things that are quite rich to look at.
And that is a different material altogether, isn't it?
It is. Now, this material is called pewter, but perhaps our visitors would like to find out what two different metals make our pewter plates.
Two metals. Now, in this room, there is a very, very favourite Tudor type of decoration made in wood.
It is indeed.
And it is all around this room.
It is. It's very significant to us, isn't it, Squire William?
Very.
This particular pattern. And we are very proud to have it all around the tower.
But now, you will see across here that we have a person.
I wonder if our visitors' clothing is similar to the clothing in the portrait. Perhaps, Squire William, why don't we take our visitors to the crooked framed room? And there they can see how the building looks, but also they can learn more about our own dress. Do you think that's a good idea?
Indeed, yes. Let us retire to the crook frame room.
Yes, indeed.
Welcome to what we call the crook frame room, and we'll tell you why we call it that a little later.
But before you learn about the building, we'd like to explain about the clothes. As we were downstairs in the dining room, Squire William pointed out a portrait of a gentleman dressed in Tudor garb, similar to Squire William himself. As you will see, we are wealthy Tudors here at Turton Towers, as shown by the expensive material fabric that we use. And Squire William is wearing his hat, his cap, and as you see, he has a feather. And the more elaborate the headwear, the more expensive, costly things are, and you can show off. And I have heard that Queen Elizabeth's court has many such gentlemen with very, very elaborate headwear. And then we have this thing, which we wear as wealthy Tudors. Now, I'm quite sure that you may know what this is called, but just to remind you, this is called a ruff, a ruff. And when you come to Turton Tower, you will have chance to wear your own ruff. And perhaps you can actually make a ruff yourself before you come. Now, this part of the head wear is called a coif. Some gentlemen wear coifs, many ladies wear coifs. And a question for you, can you actually find out where the word coif comes from? I'll give you a clue. This comes from a French word, a word from France. Now then, back to Squire William. As you see, he's wearing a shirt underneath his doublet. His shirt, you can just see the lace frills. Again, wealthy, we wear quite a lot of lace. Not everybody can afford the lace, but he will wear, under his doublet, he will wear a shirt. Sometimes the shirt will be of simple fabric. Sometimes it can be very expensive, such as silk or satin. Over the top, as you will see on Squire William, then we do have the doublet. And the doublet is made to make the stature quite strong. Like an A shape, perhaps, Squire William, is that right?
Yes, a little small for me, though. That.
Well, if someone would like to visit Turton Tower who are small, Mr. and Masters and Mistresses, perhaps they will have chance again to wear such garment. And lastly, over Squire William's hose, which shows off his legs and his calves, we have this garment, which is called his breeches. And as you can see, when you're wealthy, you do need people to help you dress, because there are many pieces of lace many laces in the garments. Now, this is quite padded. And the reason for the padding is again to show off wealth, but also, well, I've got a question for you. We have a saying, we have young gentlemen here, we call whipping boys. Can you find out, what does the word whipping boy come from? Who are the whipping boys? Now over to the ladies. As you can see, a wealthy Tudor likes to show off by wearing elaborate, expensive clothing, fabrics. And Squire William is very kind. He will go and buy expensive clothing for me to have my clothing made. Now, underneath, you cannot see it, but underneath, I do have one of these. And most Tudor ladies, not all Tudor ladies, but wealthy Tudor ladies, like to wear this. And this is the part that gives the lady the shape. As you can see, it is not easy to sit down because we wear these. Perhaps, well, I will tell you what they are called. They are called no, I won't. I'm going to give you a clue. You have a look. Can you find what that part of the clothing is called? Over that part, we then have the kirtle. The kirtle, as you can see, very pretty. Not all of the kirtle is in the expensive fabric. I wonder why not. Then over that, we have the overdress. Now, as you can see again, we do need help. But if you come to Turton Tower, when you come to Turton Tower, you may have a chance to wear an overdress like this. And finally, we have the headdress, which includes the coif, and over the top. The more extravagant, the more luscious, if you like, then the better. Now then, Squire William, would you like to explain a little bit about the building?
Indeed, yes. This is the crook frame. You can see it along there, holding up the ceiling, and there are many others of them that are doing exactly the same thing, and that's how this house is held together, except for the tower. That is all stone wall. These, you can see, are made of not stone, but, well, what? And in between there is something called wattle and daub. See if you can see other places where there is wattle and daub, as well as timber. But unfortunately, there is a sad part of this story, because in London, many, many years ago, something happened, and because of the walls that were made of wood and wattle and daub. Can anybody tell me or guess what that was that happened in London? Here you can see what it should look like inside. The wattle and daub is there to be seen, because we've taken a piece away from here so that you can see it more easily. But find out, if you can, what happened in London to make it so that the Tudors became not so very keen to use what they were using to build houses.
Hello again. Welcome to the Tapestry bedroom, our bedchamber, a room that we are very, very proud of. As you can see, our furniture has many, many different carvings on, and that shows that we are wealthy Tudors. When you come to Turton Tower, you can have a really good look. You can see all the different animals, all the different plants and animals, and also the mythical creatures. And when you look closely, you might see something that you don't like. If you look at the bedding, is the bedding like your bedding? Come and have a look. Come and feel. Would you like to sleep on a bed where a mattress is like that? Is it like your mattress? Would you like to sleep with a sheet made of this fabric? This fabric, actually, it comes from a plant. I wonder if you know what the fabric is called. What else shows our wealth? We have a carpet. Our carpet is on the table. Do you have carpets on your table? Remember again, we are wealthy. Do we want people walking on such an expensive item? I don't know. Now then, here is our little cradle. We're lucky, fortunate enough to have children in the household. And if you come and have a look, you will see little holes around the side of the cradle. I wonder why we have those holes. Well, there is a story to it. I'm not going to tell it now, but there is a story involving a small baby and a little animal that we like to have in the house just to keep the mice away. I wonder what we did to keep that baby safe. Now we're going to go to another piece of furniture. This is called a court cupboard. And again, you can see many different patterns, many different flowers. Again, it would have cost a lot of money. We would keep our expensive items locked away in the top, and then our documents in the bottom. And finally, we have a little room, a tiny little room, which is a very, very important little room. I wonder what that little room would have been, or is now, because you have to go into that room to be private. I wonder what it's called.
Well, goodbye and thank you for coming.
And we hope to see you again very soon at Turton Tower, where you can learn more about life at the Tudors, not just about the rich, but the poor as well. Learn about the food, learn about table manners, table etiquette, and you may even learn how to dance like a Tudor.
Well, bring your parents with you next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.